Hi there, this is Steve from chordbook.com. I'm here to talk to you a bit about lead guitar playing, and this is a first in 2 videos that are going to cover some of the basics of learning to play lead. So what is lead guitar and lead guitar playing? Well, I think lead guitar playing really is any guitar playing that's focused on melody, and with most types of kind of modern music, popular music, kind of rock and blues and heavy metal, the lead guitar is more of the focal point of the song when it's playing at that point. Now that could be a combination of whether it's a guitar solo, or whether it's a melodic part in the song, so supporting the vocals, or whether it's a riff, a high riff, and basically normally it's one note at a time or a couple of notes at a time, and it's a melodic element, and again that's generally what lead guitar covers. Now lead guitar is really good fun, and it's one of those things where when you're starting out playing guitar you really want to be fast and learn how to play lots of different licks, and licks meaning little kind of phrases. Getting the foundations in place and the basic things sorted and learned and mastered early on, and then building on them, is a really key thing. And this lesson is a basic lead guitar lesson, part 1, and I'm going to be covering some of these foundation elements in this video. So yeah, hope you enjoy them. Now I'm going to say this quickly: if you are still at the very early stages of learning to play open chords, do basic strumming, and just get muscle memory about moving around the neck, I would recommend just continuing working on that. Get those under your belt before you really attempt the lead playing. Might be frustrating, but I think that's important to say. Okay, when you're learning lead guitar, one thing that you really need to kind of think about learning, and your teacher can help you with this, is understanding what note you're playing on the top 2 strings, so that the low E string and the A string. Reason for that is because if you're playing a song and it's in A, you know that if you know where the A note is on one of these strings, that's going to mean that it's the root, and it's going to set you up for some of the lead stuff I'm going to show you. If we look at the basics, open string is the E string, the 3rd fret is a G, so it's E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A on the 5th fret, and we're going to be a lot on A in this lesson, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, E flat, and E, which is an octave up. On the A string, you've got A, B flat, B, C, D, and it goes up. So you've got D on the 5th, you've got E on the 7th, you've got F sharp on the 9th, and then A. So basically what that means is if you're playing a song that's in the key of A minor, or A, that you know that the root is going to be on the 5th fret on the E string. Okay? Now it is important to know scales, minor and major scales, when you're learning guitar, and that is something that your teacher can cover with you in depth and to help you develop. All lead playing really has scales and patterns at its heart. So, but you're probably watching this and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to learn all the scales and everything now. I want to play something cool. I want to play some good licks and some good riffs and learn some solo ideas. Now, that's fine, and we can almost start that today. And one of the things we're going to look at to help you with that is called the minor pentatonic scale, which is a pattern that's used a lot within lots of different types of music, and it's really a great starting point for lead guitar. The reason it's a great starting point is because all kind of rock and pop music and modern Western music has its roots going way back to the blues. And it's not a music history lesson, but blues music is expressive music, and there's a lot of soloing by the guitar players in that type of music, and a lot of the soloing they do is around this pentatonic scale because it's basic, and because you can be very expressive with it with a very few notes. You can be rhythmic with it. It will sound familiar. And by learning pentatonic scales now, because of the position that you're in, you literally pick the note that you want to be in the key of. So I was talking about being in A, and you put your first finger on that, and then all of the position that you're playing keeps that finger there. And if the key moves, you can move that position to apply the same shapes to it. The first position pentatonic scale looks like this and sounds like this in slow motion. Okay, now I'm playing every note in that with a down pick, and we're going to be doing that for the start. And we're going to talk through that pattern now slowly. As I said, this is A minor pentatonic. So the first finger goes on the 5th fret on the E string, which is the A note. Pick that note. The next one is your little finger, your pinky as the Americans call it, up to the 8th fret. Okay. Then we move to the next string. Again, first finger stays there. 5th fret. And then your 3rd finger goes on to the 7th fret. Your first finger onto the next string on the 5th fret still. Again, your 3rd finger goes to the 7th fret. So it sounds like this so far. Then the next one up again, 5th fret for the on the G string for the first finger. 7th fret, the 3rd finger, and then the last 2 strings, 5th fret and B string, and the first finger goes onto the B string again there, the little finger goes up to the 8th fret, first finger onto the 5th fret still, on the high E string, and then finally the top note, which is the little finger on the 8th fret again. So slowly, first finger, 4th finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 4th finger, first finger, 4th finger. So you got the first one is a 4 fret gap. The next 3 are just 2 frets apart, and then the last top 2 or the bottom 2 small strings are back to 4 apart. Okay, now what I want you to do now is to practice moving around that scale, because that will teach your fingers to move independently, and it'll teach you to pick individual strings, play them cleanly, and you should start slowly, really slowly, almost too slow. So start with just looking what you're doing. Oh. And then come down. Notice I'm keeping that in uniform rhythm. You know, you can tap your foot or get a metronome or something to play a rhythm to, and hit every note equally, and that'll teach you muscle memory and the dexterity you need to do, to do solos. So also with the pentatonic scale, it's movable. So that was A minor, and that's where the A note is. If it was a G, you'd be doing it on the G here, and the same position there. If it was a, if it was a D, you'd be up here. It's the same position. Okay, and that's why it's important that you've grasped the notes on the neck, so that you're aware of the context of the solo and the key that you're in. So the minor pentatonic scale, something hugely important to learn for the fundamentals of lead playing. In the next video, we're going to move on to some actual techniques for playing lead solos that you can apply within this pentatonic scale environment. And like I said, with these particular scales, before you look at the next video, I would recommend spending a bit of time learning that and getting it comfortable, almost to the point where you can do it without looking, and you're comfortable playing that across different parts of the neck. Okay, see you on the next video.